Recording. So you can't be in the background naked either. I'm not.
Hey, Mikey.
Oh.
How are you?
Good. How was your football game?
It was good. Went into overtime. But by that point, Dalton was he was ready to go.
You guys win or no?
No, Minnesota won. I don't really care. I didn't really care for necessarily either one of those teams. I just wanted the score to be under 48, but that was out when they went into overtime.
Hey, no gambling in this Connect group.
No, I wasn't gambling. It was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I was rooting for them.
Yeah, me too. All my sins are a friend of mine.
This one actually truly was a friend of mine. Now the game last Sunday, it might be a different story, but this particular one was just a friend of mine because I said I don't really care for either one. Yeah, I was just prepared for the winning.
Well, we had Jason on there for a second. I still lost him.
I'm bummed I'm gonna be out of town. Like the one time I go out of town.
Yeah, it's back.
When do you get? Are you driving back or flying back?
I'm flying back to New York, but I'm gonna be I got on drive through Carolina, so
on the way down or back up?
I'm already down here.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll probably fly out
Gotcha.
of Greensboro or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, like
introduce you to
last.
Can you see anybody or just some audio?
I can see you and one other person.
Okay, perfect. Let's know when you're on audio if you can see or not. So Jason's connected now, and he's new to our group, but he actually met him. He was looking for directions. Amber and I were outside of my shop in New York one day, and he pulled over to look for directions with his father, and we've stayed connected ever since. And now he's joined our group. So
that's awesome. Well, welcome, Jason.
Lives in Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I think you lost him.
Yeah, he'll be back. You gotta get used to this technology.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch the video or no?
I watched a little bit of it. I was packing because I leave like super early tomorrow morning.
Nice.
But yeah, I got to watch a little bit of it.
Yeah,
I liked the one last week. Last week was awesome.
Yeah, last week was good.
Yeah. This
dude, Timberlake is a really good speaker. But he was at the US conference. It was on Saturday, not Sunday, but anyway, they used. So tonight's a mixture of Saturday and Sunday, but I'll blend it in.
Yeah. Now, was he one of the ones that you posted to your story about? I forget whether it was today or yesterday, but like it hit. It was a pretty good one.
Oh no, that was a guy out in Texas. Another guy I follow. He played golf tournament with him. He's out with my friends in Texas, but very similar demeanor in his preaching. So yeah, his was good.
Hey, Portia.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
There's Amber.
Hey, Amber.
Hi, guys. Sorry, running a couple minutes late.
And Jason's been in and out about 3 or 4 times. He's having a hard time.
Okay.
But it's all good. All recorded. Can always send it back to him. I was just telling them, so this week was a little unique. I mixed the post between Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday was us conference, which is for the people of the church. They hosted a huge conference in LA Saturday and had guest speakers. So they used that message. They recorded that live at Saturdays and use it for Sunday's message as well. But they also had a Sunday message at church for ZOE. So tonight's going to be a mixture of both. So if you saw the post, I put Timberlake, who spoke at the US conference Saturday, and his video, but then the message is about Sunday's message as well from ZOE. So I mixed them together, but they're both relevant. So kind of cover both. I know. So Lauren's in audio. I don't know if anybody can see that in your end, but Lauren's here with us. She's on audio. Jason's trying to connect, which he will. So I don't know if anybody got to watch any of the video, but like I said, it was Saturday live, and then they used it for Sunday's message, and it was a guest speaker, Timberlake. And it was entitled Four Little Things. And as you know, I titled the message differently, but it was because, like I said, there was two messages from Saturday and Sunday. So I used the title for ZOE Church message, but I'll go over a couple points. But I think more importantly, the message that Tim delivered was unbelievable. It was unreal. I mean, I think it's always nice to switch it up. Sometimes Chad's a phenomenal speaker and he gets to people in a way that I think is very unique. And that's why I was drawn to those guys. But when he pulls in some people, they're usually some of the best around, because like it takes a lot for them to pull in a guest and take over for a Sunday even. So I thought Tim did an amazing job. So it was entitled, I Can't Stay Here. Kind of coming off our last week's Real Raw and Flawed message even. Like, I can't stay here in the sense of like, this time for a change. There's a new season coming. There's something on the horizon. There's a different me coming. And I can't stay here in the moment I'm in, right? There's something new always ahead of us. And that doesn't mean you're doing bad. You could be doing good, but there's always a new season ahead of us. So saying I can't stay here is recognizing what you're in, being self-aware, being the moment you're in, and what are the changes that are going to be coming to the new season. What changes can better your life, can be a better version of yourself, can be the next chapter, or like we said, next season, just like we have fall, winter, and spring, summer. What's the next season and what changes to get there? So entitled, I Can't Stay Here, but I really want to get into the four little things, the message that Timberlake was executing. And, he talked in a very common, and I use these a lot. If you listen to my posts, I'll write a message and I'll use imagery of a lion a lot. And I think just everybody can agree, the symbol of a lion or a bear or a tiger or things like this are like this powerful, strong kingdom animal that everybody's kind of used to seeing as power, ruler. Ancient rulers of all sorts of areas used lions as symbols of power, statues and stuff like that, and big animals and scary animals were signs of power and strength and fear. And what he really dove into was four small, what I call it the little things, was, and I'm gonna focus on one, not all four, because it's an hour-long message, but so for instance, the ant was one of them, the locust, the lizard, the coney, like all these little animals. Like an ant I love, because you can literally pass over an ant thousands of times a day and never even know it. We're not looking down, we're cruising all day, right? Be right at our feet. But the preparation that he spoke of being prepared for the next season in your life, or being prepared for what's already given to you, it's already proven to be given to you by God, and set hand way before you were even consciousness. Like, if you're ready for it and prepared for it, that he'd give it to you in abundance and exceed your expectations of what you believe he owes you or is for you. When he talked about the ant, it was like, wow, like how small. He broke it down in such detail of, like, when you see an ant dragging something like 100x the size of his own body back to a hole that it doesn't fit in, and maneuvering it, moving it around, and wiggling it in, and getting it in there. And the amount of time they spend to go do that as a colony, as one. And they start because they start prior to winter in preparation for what's to come. So when we talk about, I wrote a couple of notes I thought were huge in this, like preparation is proof of expectation, right? So our expectations can only be met if we've prepared for what we expect God to give us. And if you prepare for what's expected of him, not only will he show up with your expectations, he'll exceed them and blow your mind. But it's not without preparation. You can't just want something enough. Just want it. I just want it, man. Just want it. We talked about this last week. Like, I just want to be better. I want to be healthier. I want a better relationship. I want to be better job. I just want it, man. That's not enough. You got to show up every day to something. You got to speak new paths. You got to surround yourself with new people. The circle you live in, who you talk to, how you talk to people, how you talk to yourself. All these things are part of preparation of the life you expect for yourself. So if you're not willing to do that for yourself, why are you expecting somebody else to step up for you? If you can't even do it for yourself, we have full control over how you expect anybody else to show up for you. God included, or just friends, relationship, anybody. If you can't model it and show up and prove that you want to show up every day and do the same things over and over in a pattern, how can you possibly expect anybody else to have that in mind for you?
Well, I also think it kind of goes back to like who you surround yourself with too, having the people that are like-minded and there for you to step up and support you when you are losing that kind of your mojo and you need someone to lift you up. I think surrounding yourself with those people a huge part of that.
Yeah, you're as good as the 5 people that surround you. I mean, that's a saying, but it's a fact too. I mean, there's been tons of studies on that. You are as good as the people you surround yourself with. People near you pushing you. I think a long time, this must be a year ago, Rich Wilkerson Jr., we talked about in one of our Connect groups, the message he had of the circle, right? Check your circle. Check it. Check it often. Every season, check your circle. Who's in it? Somebody needs to be plucked out? Somebody need to be replaced? Who's bringing into your circle? Who's offering up? Who's bringing energy like you are? Who's equaling out, coming inward? Or is there somebody in there just taking?
I read a quote today and it was like, just because they're in your circle doesn't mean that they are in your corner. And I thought that was great.
Yeah. That's a great perspective. The other one is just because people are in your circle doesn't mean you're in theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or vice versa. And you want that to be the same. Your circle should be as strong as your circle, and then their circle should include you as well.
And also that they're responsible enough that they're not drilling holes in the boat.
Yeah. Well, if you have a circle boat, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So preparation. Let's talk more about preparation. Like he always talks about the preparation, the wisdom of the ant, the coney, the locust, the lizard, all kind of oversaw small animals that do a lot. And you got to listen to the message to go into detail all 4, because it's, over an hour long of a quarter of it going in each one. I picked the ant only because it's the most profound to me looking, like the size. It makes mathematical sense to me. Like, how much work is this little thing doing? How much work are we actually doing a day? What are we doing? How much physical and mental labor are we putting in for ourselves? How much are we prepping for what's to come? Like, you remember when there was no central air or heat in your house? Not even in our world. I'm talking about like our grandparents. They had to get ready months and months prior to a season coming, okay? To survive, to live through that season. And we're so lazy today, we don't want to do things the day before. We don't want to prep the night before to get good rest, to get up in the morning, be efficient about getting ready and not running late to get to our job and be the best person we are. We don't even want to do that. It's not even life or death, right? So preparation is king. It is the line. It is the ant, however you want to see it. Preparation to anything. If you're not prepared, you're not ready. And God is not going to give you anything if you're not ready. That's the whole point of patience. You can expect all you want. If you are not ready, he will not offer it to you. But when you are and you prepared for it and you've proven you're prepared, he will exceed that expectation by limits you've never seen and you've never expected. All right, so preparation. Great one here. This is a quote from him. So Timberlake says, the quality of the wisdom you get determines the quality of decisions you make. The quality of the wisdom you get determines the quality of decisions you make. Simple form. If you've only been around a same circle of a kind of person your whole life, your decisions on your life are based on what you're around, the quality of information and wisdom that's coming to you. And if you never check your circle and change that, it's always going to be the same, and you're going to make the same decisions over and over. And that's how we build patterns in our life. You know this saying, you don't know till you know. If you're not learning, how can you make better decisions? You can't just say, darn, man, that was a bad decision. Oh man, I got to stop doing that. But if you check your circle and everybody's doing it, and 10 years go by and 20 years go by, it's the same. So I thought that was a great insight on another way to say it. Other thing he really connected, I thought, was right here. So he's talking about the seasons of your life and preparing for it. When, so my analogy was when we go on a trip. I'm probably a bad example of it because I can plan a trip in 10 minutes and jump on a plane and leave. I've always been like that. I don't like talking about plans. I don't like overthinking it. I get in contention with a lot of my friends about it all the time because some of them are planners and I don't even want to hear it. Like, I roll into the situation, I do what I got to do to be in it. I don't hold stress to it. But can you think about hey, let's all go on a trip tomorrow, and you do nothing. You don't put socks in a bag. You don't put clean underwear. You don't bring a bag. You jump on the plane, get there and go, oh man, how much different is a trip to, say, the Bahamas you've been saving up for your whole life or 2 years? You get there unprepared with nothing. You don't have shorts, you don't have flip-flops, you don't have sunscreen, you don't have anything. You forgot clean underwear versus you've been planning for about a month for this trip. You got your passport ready, you know where your stuff is, you packed everything, you got 10 days worth of clothes and all the things, and you're prepared. Those trips are very different when you get home or when you get there. They're going to be a very different experience being prepared or unprepared. And that's the point he was kind of laying down. Like, you got a presentation tomorrow to wow your boss and steal a client from a competitor. How much preparation you to put into it? I think a lot of the time the answer lies in, what does it mean to us? Well, if you don't like your job or your boss, you might kind of blow it off, wake up in the morning and wing it because you just don't care. If it's really important or priority to you, you might spend weeks, maybe 3 weeks a month on it, getting ready for this presentation to kill it, to make sure you've done everything possible to win this thing. Because it's not about your boss and the client, but it's about you and the quality of the wisdom and information you got and the quality you're going to put out. So again, come back to preparation. And it's easy to say to prepare for something, but if you don't want it and it's not important to you, it's going to be really hard to put the effort in to prepare for something. Now, back in the day, again, when winter comes, they've seen the past winters kill their family and friends. This is something that's like, dude, if we don't get ready, we die. That's when it's put on you, right? That's a forced priority. But today we have so much freedom and options that we don't even look at our own personal health or our personal relationships or our job happiness, our happiness in general. We don't even look at that thing with the same amount of grit and effort and desire as we do as a fight or flight. Like, if I'm not happy, I'll die sooner. If I'm not good with this job, be miserable. Like, if I don't find that person, I'm not going to be whole. And treat it like it is life or death. If I don't prepare for this, I won't get through the next season. And seasons come my seasons are every quarter. I treat it like this season's, like quite literally. For me, it's easy like that. Chunk it up, and then I chunk up bigger seasons as every 5 years of my life is a new opportunity to have a new life. That's how I personally look at it. But people do it weeks, years, decades. It's what's important to you, but being prepared. And how many opportunities have we missed because we're waiting for somebody else to give us permission, to show us the way, give us a sign, tell us to do it, our spouse, our boss, somebody. You're waiting. It's not their responsibility. The gift wasn't given to you. It wasn't promised to you beforehand by anybody else besides God. God is waiting to give it to you. He's waiting. He's testing you. He wants to know that you're ready and prepared. You don't need somebody to tell you. You don't need your wife to tell you, your boss to tell you, your friend to tell you. You need to hear it from yourself and be ready to be prepared for what's already promised to you. You got to spend your time. This one I thought was great. He said, if you're not spending your time becoming, you're spending your time copying. And God doesn't want us to be pretending. He didn't bless you to pretend to be, but who you are meant to be. You're supposed to be who you're meant to be because it's already predetermined what he's going to give to you to your life. So stop pretending you're not spending your time becoming, you're spending your time copying. You're wasting a lot of time, right? You got to become what you're set for it to be. You don't need to watch everybody else and look for approval or look for the yes or the go sign or the green light. If it's in your heart, you do it, you put priority to it, you prepare for it, and you will exceed the expectation you ever thought you ever had for the outcome. Right? If this little ant can prepare for the whole winter to save his entire county and drag back stuff 100x the size of his body into a hole that doesn't scientifically fit, I mean, dude, you can't go out and chop a little bit of wood and get ready for the winter in the summertime when it's warm, not in the winter when it's already cold, when it sucks. You can't get to the gas station and get food first, so you're ready for the week. You can't clean your clothes and prioritize, so you don't wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, all my shirts are wrinkly for this interview. I mean, just those seem so minuscule and absolutely ridiculous to talk about in our list, right? Like, how embarrassing when you think about the scale of preparing life or death stuff. So if you get a chance, I sent them all in the email. Jason, I'll send it to you, the link, because you're not in the email thread yet. But I said, if you haven't followed along with the actual Sunday sermons or anything like that, this one's I thought was pretty special. It just had a lot of very good analogies and perspective and clear details of seeing it differently. And I thought it was, he's a great speaker. One, I've listened to his stuff a lot. He's a phenomenal speaker. So go back and listen to it. Let me know what you think. If anybody listened to that one, or if anybody has something to say on just what I said, and you want to chime in, go ahead at any time. The only other thing I was going to share with you was the messages from the actual Connect message for I Can't Stay Here. And there was only 4 points on it. They just talked about faith requiring focus. So it ties right into what we just talked about. You gotta be focused on the wants you have so you can be prepared for them. There's always a place to go is point 2. And this is coming back from 2 weeks ago. Remember we talked about the new series was really about getting into the faith and how. Like, how do you read the Bible? Do you read the Bible? This is kind of piggybacking off that. So there's always a place to go. And then point 3 was, although the water may be over your head, it's still under your feet. So kind of a weird image to grab. Water's over your head. It seems like you're drowning, but it's still under your feet. Meaning you can still get ground. You can still do something about it. And then big faith means it's always too soon to call it quits.
Yeah,
Right?
I think that's big and huge. And I mean, again, it's all perspective. I think a lot of you guys know I was going through I just finished my chemo and everything, but like right towards the end, I had kidney stones, kidney infection, sepsis. I got the COVID Delta wave, and I was doing my chemo all at once. And like, I could have easily just like thrown myself a pity party. Portia, you were a huge part in just kind of like uplifting my spirits at like some of the best times that I needed it. So thank you so much. But, you
Yeah.
know, the way I had to try to just kind of keep myself in a positive mindset was it could always be worse. My boys aren't seeing me suffer. My boys haven't had to go without. And, I'm still making it day by day. It's not easy, but I'm still here and I'm still making it day by day. And, people with less symptoms and going through less had it a whole lot worse than I did. So I just had to be thankful for that.
That's amazing. I'm gonna put Portia on the spot a little bit because I think in our group, out of all of us, the way she shows up, I think for everybody in this group, including myself, from the day I reconnected with her was outside this group. She continues to show up. How many messages I have of her like, hey, I think it's a good idea. We're gonna send a message or a card or a thing. And Jason shared with us last week that he got his in the mail, and she sent one to everybody, and she's always sending the messages. And that's what I mean about checking your circle. Can you imagine if you had 5 to 10 Porsches just peppering you all day, like literally 5 of them, and that was your tightest circle?
Yeah.
You might exceed everybody's expectation. You know what I mean? Like, so, I put her on the spot because she's very good at it. And, I'm encouraging her now, and I try to at least to lean into that for her next chapter, because I think her journey has made her so wise, and the wisdom that she's been taking on, the quality of wisdom that she's taken on has to be shared constantly. If Portia sat back and decided to just make sure she was okay, I don't think she'd be as okay, if that makes sense.
Right.
You agree with me, Portia? You have something to?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a word that I have to speak, and I know that for sure.
Yeah. And I think this is all my opinion, but I see it in her when she talks about it. I can see her change, her voice and her look and her face and her smile. And I can see things change when she talks on it. I'm not sure always she understands how important it is. So I'm glad that you brought it up, Lauren. I'm glad that it touched you in that way. Jason shared something with us last week, very similar. But that's what we're here for with each other, right? Like, what's the point of doing this if we're not pushing each other? If this isn't our circle to better one another and lift each one pull one, right? Somebody's got to pull somebody up. So when we're all up top, we can pull the next one up, or if one of us falls, somebody can grab them. But you got to have people you trust. So when you fall, you know somebody's got you. I've been group circles of people that I've just, they were peers of mine, but if I ever felt in a situation, I would never call. I'd rather be
I
quiet.
agree. Portia, you've got a gift, and you're so selfless in that. And just my angel box stays by my bed. All of the notes you've written me are on my fridge. Like
Yeah.
the messages, like it's just been so you've definitely been one of the main people to just keep me in a positive mindset at my worst. So thank you, seriously. And I know I haven't made all the groups, but rewatching the groups and rewatching this has definitely been just huge for me.
Heck yeah. And that's what, Amber's a catalyst of this too. And Amber's been a catalyst of almost to the point of annoying me in my life. One, she's my sister, so that's a different dynamic between us. But by annoyance, I mean she's relentless in consistency of what she's messaged to me my entire life. And unfortunately, a lot of the time I didn't want to hear it. So it became a struggle for me, and stop or leave me alone or don't answer a call when she calls, because I didn't want to hear that I was good enough. I didn't want to hear that I was different or special. I didn't want to hear those things because I wasn't ready to hear them. I didn't believe them. So instead of saying, oh my God, how consistent is this woman that loves me? It was more like it's falling on deaf ears because it sounds fake to me. Right. So our relationship struggled for years because we didn't have the communication beyond just, I would do anything for her as my sister. She'd support me like crazy nonstop to the point where I was like, I don't want to hear it. But we never communicated about anything else until later in life. And now that we have, it's like, holy shit, when she says something, I can hear it, right? When she messages me or writes me, I can hear the intention behind it. So I think it's important to not just speak good things to people and talk to people and, uplift them. But one, you got to mean it. It's got to come from your heart because people can feel your energy. And two, that the people you're talking to have to be ready for you, and that's part of preparation in their own life and yours. Sometimes I've got annoyed in my own heart that I've tried to help people and they won't listen. They won't help themselves and they won't. And it took me a long time to get over the fact that it's not my responsibility to make them. It's just my responsibility to keep showing up until maybe it affects them or it doesn't. But that's part of my preparation. So
I like that.
we just got to keep rolling with who we are, who we're true to be. Somebody says you're annoying or somebody's like, oh, gosh, you're always so freaking happy all the time. Well, you know what? Maybe jump on the train, bro. It's pretty happy on this train. Well, like maybe just take a couple stops and see how you feel. Instead of kicking rocks at it when it's driving by. And that's the easier thing to do, right? It's hard to have self-love when you're in doubt and question of what your expectations are for you and what you think is owed to you and what you think has not been given to you. But just know that if you prepare for it and you're ready for it, it's coming to you. It's already been predetermined. It's been promised to you from day one. The only person he's waiting on is you. So group it, power in numbers right here. We're all sending it up at the same time. We're louder when we yell together, right? So I always tell you how much I appreciate you guys showing up. And, I'm out of town right now, and sometimes it's hard for me to figure out where I'm going to do this and get on the internet, but it's not a choice for me anymore, It has to be choppy. You have to redo it. Like, it's not a choice for me because it changes my life if I don't. I'm a different person the rest of the week if I don't. And it's because of the fact of who you surround yourself is who you are, how you're going to be, how you start thinking, how you start feeling. So I appreciate you guys. Like, you don't know. I appreciate Jason, you showing up, dude. Like I told you, like I just told my friend and I told Lauren what she got. It's like, we met this guy lost for directions in New York. He was in Portland. Like what, like what? And then now he's on here and he's, having a blast. So it's like, nothing's on accident, man. It's like, you got to be paying attention. So anybody want to
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what button I just hit, but I thought I was talking earlier, but I hit another
Saw your mouth
button.
moving with a smile. I knew it was
But
something good.
I ain't very good at this computer stuff, you know that. But
It's all good.
thanks to Portia, she got me on here, and then Amber, she's helped me with all kinds of stuff and I still don't know how I got in this group. It's a God thing because I've never been in a group where I can be open before. And I met you guys in New York, and I see you're fixing up another van. So that's, a positive
Send me some
thing.
pictures, dude. It came out really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, but it's a God thing because I still don't know how I got in this group. I know it's a God thing, but
Yeah.
I think back, how did I do it?
Well, you let it, right?
Yep.
You're ready for it. You're prepared for it. You let it in. You let us in. You let us talk to you. Like, could have been easy, been like, hey man, yeah, turn around, go that way. I get off my driveway. I mean, that happens in life too, but you happen to catch Amber and I, one, at the same place at the same time, which is super rare. Two, at the garage where she was just visiting for the first time. More rare.
Yeah.
She shows up every day and like gives me lunch. She stopped by for the first time to check out the garage, to check out what I was doing.
Well, it's a God thing because I still don't know how that she's giving me guidance now. You're giving me guidance, and Portia's, she sent some stuff that's really helped, and you're helping. I still don't know how it's a God thing, but
Heck yeah.
I've never been in a group where I can talk and feel comfortable.
I love it, dude. I'm the same. I'm with you on that, bro.
I got all kinds of friends, but
I mean, yeah,
their
exactly.
beliefs a little different than mine.
Everybody's got positions in our lives, and there are positions that, as my dad would have said, the world needs ditch diggers. And that was more of a him being a wise ass like he always is. But I always took it as more of, you're going to have friends that have surface level meaning in your life. Doesn't mean you like them less or anything like that, but it's maybe a sports conversation only. You talk about a team and you don't really know each other's lives, or you don't ask about each other's wives, or if you're okay, like those are the big things to me. How many times is the people in your group ask if you're okay when they talk to you?
And actually tell you the truth, whether
Yeah.
they are or they're not.
You're right. Exactly. Like, give it to me. Are you okay? You know what? No, I'm not. Thanks for asking. Let's talk about it. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. So what are you doing this weekend? You want to get hammered? You know what I mean? It's like glazed over the top. So I appreciate this group because everybody's learned, went from week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, where it was just like dead silence. I couldn't beg people, like hit on their butt, like, hey, can you talk? Can you say something?
How long's this group been going on, Michael?
Over the ZOE group started about a year and a half ago almost now.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
it was only one every 2 weeks, and it was just the church one. And like I said, it was slow. It was kind of me talking through the discussion and nobody really chiming in and sharing, and it was quiet. And but we've grown.
And
to
it got to
understand
the point where he had to mute us all.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I look forward to it every Monday now.
Yeah. So it is a blessing, dude. And that's how you got here. Amber, you got anything anything on your mind?
No, but I love the small things, moving mountains. I think that's amazing because yeah, that's a lot to chew on. I actually want to go back now and listen to the rest of the ZOE because I only caught a few minutes of it. So
Yeah.
no, I love it. Everything you said, I agree.
Yeah. So the last thing I'll share that he kind of said that I'm kind of paraphrasing it, but he talked about us being so busy. Like we should be so busy preparing for the thing that it doesn't really matter what other people think of us. It doesn't really matter the judgment or the expectation of others on us that's being projected on us. If we're in our business of preparing for what's already set out for us, all that's the noise. Remember, that's the projection screen we saw that we play. And if we turn to it and we play it, we lean into it, right?
Well, just like when you start a job when you're 20 years old, you do what the boss says and you're afraid to speak up and you just do what he says, you do what he says. And now I've been there 28 years. It's basically, I'll tell him what I think. I don't really care, and
Yeah.
But my boy's the same way now. He's got his CDL permit, where he's working. But I said, you need to speak up. It's a permit and it's only good for a year. And they got him driving a big uke dump truck in the woods and all that stuff. But he has to get in a fifth wheel truck to get all the requirements. And I'm telling him, speak up. But I can remember back in the day, I was the same way.
Right.
It's a process.
Yeah, 100%. We got to get to know each other and learn each other, right?
Yep.
And we pour our hearts out sometimes because we're so afraid of judgment on what somebody might think of you that it's hard to give them the truth or tell your truth out loud and not fear that somebody would turn their back on you or be like, ugh, you're going through that, or that's how you think. That's a mechanism of what we're here for. We're connectivity, right? This is Connect Group. Humans are designed to gather in groups and support each other. They're supposed to herd like sheep, and they're supposed to be leaders and followers. We're supposed to be designed to be together. So the fear of being alone by judgment is a massive, massive thing in this world. being rejected is a massive thing. That's why public speaking is so difficult. Because the fear of rejection feels like you're gonna be ousted instead of.
Oh, I couldn't do what you're doing.
Oh, sure you could.
I
Everybody,
speak up, but I don't know.
sometimes you gotta talk to yourself in the mirror. Beware of shaving. And accidentally record it. You'd be sick of how many hours of recording I have in my voice memos on my phone. I'm scared to listen to it one day.
And guess what? In this future, in this weird world we're